The wind howled across the barren plains that night, dragging with it the smell of gunpowder and blood. The moon stood pale above the horizon, lighting a desolate ranch house where a coffin lay on 2 barrels, covered with nothing but an old canvas. A man stood there alone, his wide-brimmed hat pulled low, his hand resting on the handle of his revolver as though death itself might rise from the grave. His name was James Cutter, a man whose soul was long since eaten by silence and regret. The door creaked, and 7 shadows stepped out from the dim interior of the house. 7 girls, daughters of the man lying cold in that coffin. Their father, Hank Dawson, had been James's neighbor, friend, and enemy all in one. Now he was gone, his land marked by bullets and fire. The eldest, tall and beautiful with her hair falling wild over her shoulders, walked up to James. Her voice cut the air like a whip. "All 7 of us are yours." James stiffened. The words struck him harder than any bullet he had ever taken. The girl's eyes burned with both sorrow and something darker, something that smelled like revenge and desperation. "Yours," she repeated, her lips trembling. Behind her, the 6 younger sisters clung together, their dresses torn, their faces pale from shock and grief. "Why in hell would you say that?" James asked, his voice low, raw. "Because Pa trusted you," she said. "And because Pa's killers will come back. You know they will. They'll come for us. And without him, we got nobody. So you'll have to be the one." James's stomach twisted. He remembered the way Hank Dawson used to stand on his porch with a shotgun, cursing the cattle rustlers, swearing he'd die before letting his land fall into the hands of the Braxton gang. And die he had torn apart by lead only hours earlier, while James had been too far away to stop it. "You don't know what you're saying," James muttered, though his hand shook as he reached for a cigarette he never lit. The eldest girl stepped closer until the lantern light caught her face. Dirt smeared across her cheeks, but her beauty was sharp, unforgettable, the kind that made a man feel both alive and damned. "We do know," she whispered. "You can walk away, Mr. Cutter. But if you do, the Braxtons will take everything. They'll take us." The silence that followed was broken only by the sound of coyotes crying in the distance. James looked at the 7 girls, fragile, terrified, and yet holding their ground. Something inside him twisted tighter than barbed wire. He had been a gunman once, feared from Texas to Kansas. He had ridden with outlaws, killed men who begged for mercy, and carried sins that no preacher could wash away. He had buried his wife years ago, the only woman who ever called him something better than a killer. Since then, he had lived like a ghost, watching the world bleed around him. Now here he stood, staring at 7 lives laid at his feet like an unwanted gift. That night, James Cutter did not sleep.